I don't even like staying in a room after I've jerked off in it. You know what I mean? Like,
brother, I'll set the building on fire.
If I jerk off, I gotta take a lap. You know what I mean? I know I did a bad thing in here. I can't.
Much like the poison I was trying to clear out of my dick, I gotta get out of here.
Hey, you come here like, this is a bad room.
That picture's ugly.
This guy's bad juju. I hate that I sleep in here.
That's why you gotta do it where you bathe.
I like that.
Yeah. And if you do it standing up, it makes it feel like less indulgent.
Yeah, it does. It also then also makes me feel a little bit more like just like I'm clocking into a fucking line job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like the.
I mean, find a happy medium. I guess sit on the toilet. I don't know what you want. This is gone. This is not what we're talking about.
I think it's exactly what we need.
I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Welcome to another brand new episode of My Mama Told Me.
The podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove that Troy Aikman is not, in fact, a Jay-Z clone, but a bastard offspring of Adnis Reeves. That's right. I'm saying it. That's that nigga's real brother. I'm David Gborie.
I'm going to be honest, as a non-football fan and Langston Kerman, I don't know what none of that means, but break it all down for me.
Okay, hold on. You never saw the Troy Aikman Jay-Z clone? So Troy Aikman used to quarterback the Dallas Cowboys,
of course,
in the 90s. And there's a picture going around of a side-by-side of him and Jay-Z. And they do, in fact, look very similar.
Whoa.
And people are saying it's a clone. Olivia, can you pull it up? Because I'm not good at...
I see it now, yeah. Yeah. They do look a lot alike.
And Jay-Z's father, known philanderer.
So you're saying that Jay-Z Sr.
Adnis Reeves, please. I know his name.
Was running around in Dallas or wherever Troy Aikman's from, and philandering with white women, and then made not only arguably the greatest rapper of all time, but then elsewhere made one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Top tier, yes. They're only four. They're only 4 years apart in age.
Here's what I'll say: is a part of me is afraid that this is true, because it would imply that someone's nut can be that spectacular.
Not just someone's, an ain't shit nigga nut.
Yeah, that you truly can just be popping out genius after genius after genius, despite how shitty a human you are. That's terrifying.
I want to believe, baby. I want to believe.
That fucking scares me, because then that also means that my nut is being called to the table. Do you know what I mean? That if my nut produces a dud, then that's on me.
That's
this
on you.
Isn't just a bad chance that happened.
Yeah, I think that's how that goes. Yeah.
Fuck.
People know. A lot of ain't shit dudes had great kids.
Yeah.
Amazing kids.
Yeah.
Terrible father.
LeBron's daddy did not nail it as a father, but boy, did he make a fucking great kid.
Come on. It has nothing to do with, it's just, he just had, like, you know what it was? It was like, the dad had all the wood, he just didn't know how to put the house together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he had the genetic stuff, but he didn't
He's like, baby girl, I am not a carpenter, but this is the finest lumber that
exactly. He said
that this world can produce.
He said, child support, bitch, I gave you a gift.
That's cherry wood red oak. I don't know names of woods. Don't write us.
Okay.
Don't write us,
okay.
you dumb fucks. I don't know. Don't write us. That's not a real wood. I don't know, bitch. Cherry wood, red oak. That's what the fuck popped in my head that sounded like it would make for good wood.
Either way, that nut was strong.
Strong ass nut.
I'm advocating for bad guys, good nut.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, the nut's just a little bigger and faster than every other nut.
Yeah.
And not just like the nuts inside of him, but literally every other nut that a man can make. It's just big. I've
always maintained that a lot of ain't shit dudes ain't shit because they are so talented that they don't really have to focus it anywhere and they can just get by.
Wow.
Like, you never known guys like that who were just like very attractive, hyper athletic, very smart, who just never did anything because they could always just kind of get it.
Yeah, like coast.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what happens.
I do feel that way about celebrity in general, right? That like there are some people you and I both know, maybe personally, maybe just in the world, but like we know some people where we're like, I actually don't know that I think you're talented. I actually don't know that I think that like you're what everybody believes you to be, but you are so charismatic. You just have this it factor that sort of supersedes how little I think you, quote unquote, deserve the thing you have.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think that, especially in our genre of what we do, of where like, especially these days where it's like to be a stand-up comedian, there's so much to it other than stand-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, yeah, you could just get on and be kind of charming for really 15 minutes and then everybody will stay the other 30 because they bought tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
and you're still fine.
I'm engaged.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like, so yeah, I don't ever say I never did nothing for you. I'm out here advocating for the strength of nut. So girls, yeah, women, ladies, whatever we're calling you. No, you know, maybe he doesn't have
baby
a car.
back ribs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna start calling girls.
I like it. Spoken by a man who's truly out of the game.
Yeah, I'm out the game. I can say it now. Like, what you baby back ribs up to tonight? Yeah, like, he's harmless. He ain't gonna fuck us.
I'm just saying, just because he doesn't have a job or a car or a discernible stream of income or a degree, maybe he doesn't know a lot of words, but
but them nuts speak for themselves.
Yeah,
baby.
Come on, you know what it is. You know what it is. Just give him a chance. Give him a chance. It'll pay off for you in the long run.
Yeah. Or it won't, and there's no way to tell.
No, you gotta.
You truly you have to be. If they're 4 years apart, I'm assuming Troy Aikman is younger than Jay-Z.
No, he's older. He's 56.
He's older than Jay-Z. Okay, so I just assume Jay-Z is the oldest man in every room. That nigga old. That said, if Troy, that's the only way you could do this is you watch Troy Aikman happen, and then you make a Jay-Z. You have to watch another lady raise a genius to know for sure that you're getting a genius.
Well, here's the confusing part. They're only 4 years apart, and I don't think that he stuck around. So I don't think it was that he knew Troy Aikman was going to be a genius as much as he trusted in himself. He was like, I got something in here.
No, I got to
spread it around.
I think that's my point is like as the woman, that's the only way you could feel comforted is knowing that Troy Aikman exists, which you can't possibly know because that nigga didn't stick around.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, I'm here advocating on behalf of bad fathers.
And that much is clear. That part, I think we have no doubt.
Oh, man.
You're just sitting there like, I ain't have a daddy. Why y'all need daddies?
That's really like where it comes from. Oh, so everybody just needs that to be successful?
I don't think so.
You create the drive within yourself. You witness a shortcoming, a perceived flaw in and of yourself that you have to work to overcome via success and views on YouTube. How else did you guys get money? I don't know another way.
And if you don't have money, that's why you don't have it.
That's why you ain't got
that.
it, because your dad loved you too much. That's why you work at Walgreens.
We have a conspiracy today. Although
you don't want to just do this?
We could just keep living in the Troy Aikman, Jay-Z multiverse that we're all weaving here. But the conspiracy we talked about, because this is meant to be our like Halloween themed episode. Happy Halloween.
Ooh.
To all you spooks, and I mean it in the derogatory way.
He's not talking about the one that sat beside the door.
No. Olivia wrote, "Oh my God, Langston," and I don't disagree. I
saw you hitting that vape a little bit before. This could be a good one.
Yeah, I'm taking big swings today.
Yeah, let's go.
Jigaboos, you.
Come on. It just felt right.
I liked it. It flowed. It feels like you're mixing it in. You know what I mean? That like that'll be our commercial break, is just listening to the whole song.
Yeah. I'm just dropping little tidbits.
Little taste. So if you want the punani. That said, we have a conspiracy today. Our conspiracy that we'll be discussing is my mama told me
Black people can't be ghosts.
Man, come on, tell him.
You freaky frog! You're a freaky frog! You fucking freaky frog! You're a freaky frog!
I always forget that there's such a big break in what he's saying. There's like a little too much space that you think it's over, but it's not over.
No, our drops are for sure too long. It's okay. I like it. But yeah,
what do you think about this Black people can't be ghosts conversation?
So I've thought about this a lot of times, and I'm of the mind. The first thing that comes to my mind about it is that I always felt like that was a super white thing to do, to feel like you had more business to take care of, to like not allow death to be the end of what your mortal coil was. That you're like, oh, I'm so important that I gotta go back and shut up, just be dead, idiot. What are you doing? Hanging out. You know what it is? Ghosts are dudes who could hoop in high school, and then high school ended, and then they stick around trying to get pussy, hanging out in the girls' locker room like a bunch of fucking creeps. Go on and get that job, bro. What are you doing over here?
You keep talking about I needed to use the weight room because I'm training for a tryout. It's like, nah, man. You just wanted to hang out back at high school, and that's not okay.
Come on, everybody knows that scholarship to Tulane fell through.
Yeah.
We all know about it.
And yes, you made the junior college team up the street, but none of us respect it, and we don't expect that you'll be moving on from here.
Yeah, you're a South Mississippi State yard dog. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. I don't disagree with this. I think even the energy of what ghosts are, this whole instinct to scare, is some some loser high school shit where you're like telling harrowing stories of the years that you were there. And it's like, bitch, we all did the same stuff. None of your pranks were that spectacular. No car crash from some drunk driving kid is...
relax.
Is that exceptional? Everybody's like, yeah, we had 3 kids die in our year. And it's like, fuck you, man. We all had 3 kids die.
Yo, you're going crazy.
Everybody had 3 kids die. You ain't special, motherfucker.
Oh, man, we all had to watch that fucking slideshow at the end of the school year.
Yeah, you ain't. Come on, man. What are we doing? That's what ghosts are doing. They're in there being like, my life. And it's like, no, fuck you. We've all had a life.
Yo, your life is over. Let the young guns come out and like, Like, what are you hanging out for real? Like, I've never understood that either. What are they meant to accomplish?
Unfinished business is the coined phrase, right? Is that they just had shit that did not get resolved the way that they wanted it to.
When have you ever heard a story of a ghost finishing its business?
Yeah.
When have you ever heard lore or tell or seen some fucking horror movie where a ghost got that shit done? You know why they can't get shit done? Because they're not alive. So then they just hang out watching everybody like fucking nerds, bro.
Yeah.
It's so corny to be a ghost. It's so corny to be a ghost.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. If you're out there and you're thinking about being a ghost, don't do that.
Don't
stop.
Also, you die and then you want to be tethered to some old house or like when people are like, he died in that room, so I'm gonna die and then I'm gonna stay in the room that I died in for the rest of forever.
That's fucking miserable.
Bet I won't. Bet I don't. Bet I don't.
I feel similarly that I do think Ghost is a lame role to take on. I think there is an argument to be made, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this, is that they are not choosing it as much as their spirit is being cursed with it. So all of the things that you're describing are the punishment that they're experiencing more than like a voluntarily, like, I'm just going to hang out here in my room type shit.
I mean, I guess with that, then it's like, and this is a hard thing about even talking about the afterlife, is you have to choose what's canonical and what's not, right? Like, you have to pick a canon, because, like, are we talking about the Lord and Savior in heaven, Jesus Christ afterlife? Are we talking about the Native American spirit world? Are we talking about wherever duppies come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the name of your primitive religion. I know it's based on nuts and berries from the forest.
Hell yeah.
No, but like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the problem with this, is like, and that's also my problem with like people who are very vaguely spiritual is like, no, it's like crafting a story or writing a book or some shit. Your world has to have rules.
Yeah,
you know
I love that.
You have to have, like, that's my biggest problem when I watch, like, if I don't like a film or something, it's because the tone shift, because like when people don't establish rules to whatever then you can just say anything. That's why I don't like talking to hippies. Oh, it's just spirits, man. All right, well, what does that mean? What does that fucking mean? Because otherwise you're just saying shit.
What spirits are we speaking to? I do like that. I and it honestly, not that this is what you're suggesting, but it does, at least in my knowledge of like Christian roots, that is a thing that like God is sort of have said to believe, right? That he would rather you make a choice in the wrong direction than live in the middle of a, you know what I mean? Of a thing.
Exactly.
Like, believe or don't believe, but to like sort of kind of believe is the worst thing, is sort of like I think a you know, sort of quote-ish from the Bible.
It's just not going to do anything for you. It's like, you never played football, but one thing football coaches always used to say was like, if you're going to make a mistake, make it 100 miles an hour.
Right.
And that's how I feel about ghosts.
Go to hell 100 miles per hour.
But get there fast.
Stop hanging out up here where it's like, oh, it's bad, but it ain't the bad. Yeah, I get that.
What also I never understood about ghosts is like, so they're stuck here. They're trying to, I guess, get a hold of me for whatever reason. But the only way because I don't listen, man. I don't answer unknown phone numbers. You think I'm going to like see a fucking Sprite fall out of a trash can and be like, oh, this might be my Aunt Gloria? Like, I don't pay attention to signs, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I got to find some white lady who reads my palm for you to talk to me, and that's the only way this was ever going to work? Sounds like you don't have a good plan, Ghost.
Yeah, or a Catholic priest. It always has to be Catholic. You know what I mean?
Mark my words, I go to them for nothing.
Yeah.
That shit, like,
why do I have to be Catholic to do this? Because I'd prefer a Rastafarian, if I'm being honest with you.
I prefer anything that didn't diddle kids, is really how I feel.
And the idea of some Jamaican man yelling at the bald head devil is, that seems way better to me.
It feels more right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just never. So yeah, it's like that was always my problem with ghosts is like nobody has an accepted idea of what it is or why it is.
Sure.
And I just feel like Black people are more practical than that.
Yeah, I will say that I have long believed, and we'll have to go to break after this, but I have long believed that ghosts are a voluntary buy-in. That like if you fuck around with spirits, you are buying into seeing ghosts, experiencing ghosts, and maybe it is in a literal sense or maybe it is in your head. I don't know, but I know that I don't fuck around with no like dark magic or any like Ouija boards, none of that shit. And in doing so, I feel fairly confident that I'm not experiencing a lot of shit either. You know what I mean? That like
100%.
I'm not denying it, but I don't think I've ever welcomed it, and so I'm chilling.
Play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not really trying to. Although, you know, two things that we can go to break. I'll say it before we go to break.
Yeah, say it before.
Two things about that is one, a nigga seen a ghost one time.
Whoa.
Two, I went to a haunted house last night, so I don't really know.
Whoa. Okay. Well, this is maybe a good cliffhanger for the break because I want to hear this story about seeing this ghost. Let's take a break. We're teasing you dumb bitches with heroic stories when we come back about
it's not heroic
ghosts.
At all.
Okay, yeah. Gborie ran out screaming.
I'll tell the story.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back with more My Mama Told Me.
Hey, where the bitches at? It's supposed to be titties. Where the fucking titties and the bitches?
Well, that's it. We're back. We're definitely back, and we're still talking about about whether Black people can be ghosts. And Gborie left us on a massive cliffhanger, saying that he in fact has seen a ghost in the past.
Yeah, or something like that. So this is I'll get into it. This is probably like, man, it was right around when the Nuggets lost to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. So it's probably like
Carmelo years.
Yeah, it's probably like 09. I'm thinking 09 probably. We were partying at my house. I had a friend of mine from high school over, David, and I went to sleep and I woke up and it looked like I saw David in the corner of my room. But it was a figure. He was dressed kind of similar to how he had been dressed, but it looked like he had a hood on. Mm-hmm, and it looked like from my bed, it looked like the light of his cell phone. It was like a dull light. Like I thought he was texting in my room. Mm-hmm. Like I thought he was just texting this girl or some shit.
Was he facing you or facing the wall?
So it was like my bed, he was facing outwards. So it looked like he was standing with his back in the corner with a hood on and his head down on his phone. Because it felt like there was like a dull light, but I couldn't see his face. I could just, it felt like it was illuminated.
So already there is some fear. Because that's a scary image.
Not at first, because I thought it was him.
And this is a person if you woke up in the middle of the night and he was doing that, you would not feel fearful.
No, it would go exactly like it started, where I woke up and I look over there and I was like, David, get out of my room. And he didn't say anything. And I was like, David, get the fuck out of my, because we had been drinking and I had to work the next day. So I was like, David, get the fuck out of my room, bro. And he didn't do anything. I was like, I'm not kidding. Get the fuck out of my room. And I woke up and I went to turn on the light and there was nothing there. Yeah, man.
Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
I don't like that.
No, it was terrible. It was terrible.
I don't like that at all.
It was terrible.
Because even if it was just the shadow, it's the soft glow that makes it so eerie. Because then
and
it's
the hood up.
You can't deny that the hood up. Even in my head, I could go, well, the light at the right angle. Maybe you see a person, but
Because it was a basement room, and the way my room was set up, the light wouldn't even cast into that corner like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So, okay, fuck. This happens. What do you do? What do you get up? You run up screaming? How do you react?
So I turn on the light. I hate telling this part. This part is
okay. Now we're Oprah.
I turn on the light and I get scared, right? Because there's nobody there. And I go to my... This is like a complicated... Remember my best friend I told you about who's a crackhead now?
Yeah.
So before... This was like between crackhead and like thugging. He had just gotten out of jail, so he was going... He was like... He got all Christian in jail, so he's going to church all the time.
Right.
So I went over and he's like... You ever notice how dudes who like... There's dudes who get into Christianity in a way where it's always a fight?
Yeah.
So
100%.
This nigga had been talking to me about spiritual warfare and demons and shit like that. So I got all scared. So I ran to his room.
Because you knew he would square up with whatever demon that was.
I knew he would know what was going on because I was going to hit him when I turned on the light. That's what I was going to do I was like, because I was so mad.
Yeah.
I went into his room and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I just see like,
you were there, but you weren't there, and now I'm scared. What are you doing?
No. I didn't think it was him. I thought it was a different person.
Oh,
completely.
you thought it was a different dude. And so you were truly going to him for some spiritual calming.
He was on his Christian shit, so he was not drinking or anything at the time.
Fuck.
So I went and I woke him up, on some bitch ass shit. And then he comes in, he's like, what? And I'm like, and he's like, let's go. And so he comes into my...
To fight the devil?
I don't know what I thought. I don't know what he thought.
Is he gonna do?
I don't know, Langston. I don't know. I'm telling you what happened.
He's gonna go beat up a demon?
So he came in the room and then there was nothing. And I was like, and I told the whole story. He was right here. I was just wait on him. And I told him what happened. And he was like, he was like, this is spiritual warfare. So he don't laugh, bro. This is my life. So then he prayed over me in the room with the lights on. Yada yada yada. I slept on the couch.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So
this can't be the clip for this episode.
Listen, I think it's too. I'm too interested in this to even.
It's too long. It's too long.
Let me ask this. He prays over you. Are you then with your eyes closed being like, this bullshit?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem.
You're like, what the fuck? Prayer.
I was like, I got you because I know you could bang. I saw you beat up a car one time.
Yeah, nigga, I'm afraid.
Prayer
ain't gonna fix this.
Have you? I know you have a gun in there. Why are we praying? We're praying?
You literally needed a man to fist fight, and he's like, brother, I've got something better than fists.
But I also don't know what I thought I want. I just needed...
He can't do anything.
But I also think I was scared, and I needed someone...
I needed a real nigga to just be like,
don't do that. That's
we're
not
good.
Oh yeah,
no.
Okay, no. It wasn't like it wasn't like had it been David in the corner, I'd have fucked him up. That's not the issue.
No. I'm not saying you need a real nigga to fight for you. I'm saying sometimes you just need a motherfucker who is going to make you feel assured in a way that only a person with impossible sort of self-centered confidence can offer you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you need that motherfucker to be like, nah, we'll be straight.
Right.
And you go.
And I think that's more what I was looking for, not for him to jump up.
Not for him to be so afraid that he called on God in your name.
Well, he wasn't afraid, though. That's the thing. I feel like I'm not.
No, I don't mean afraid of the ghost. I mean afraid for, like, the spiritual warfare he's describing.
Yeah.
This sort of, like, the war between good and evil. He's acknowledging that that's a literal happening, and you don't want that in that moment.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
You want a motherfucker to be like, ghost, nigga, we straight.
Yeah.
And
I truthfully wanted him to wake up and be like, gay? And then like, and be like, damn, I was tripping. Like, you know what I mean?
You're right. I am gay.
Yeah. You got me. I'll go back to sleep. I didn't want like acknowledgement of what I saw that could be real.
Sure.
But I say that all that to say, the guy who prayed was mixed.
Okay.
The ghost.
White mom?
Adopted. We don't know.
The
ghost.
50% shot.
Yeah, 50-50. The man that I thought was a ghost, white guy.
Not a black ghost.
Not a black ghost. I thought it was a white man.
Wow. That does track for I think almost
What
everyone's experience is that it just seems like standard ghost is a white person.
Or a Native American. I feel like I've heard a lot about Native American ghosts.
Native Americans in the mid-aughts, it was Asian people. Asian ghosts were real popular.
Oh, I missed that whole shit.
I think it was during like the Grudge era, you know what I mean? Where like they had the little Japanese baby be the ghost. And,
and The Ring and stuff.
Yeah, The Ring was, there were a bunch of like Korean films and Japanese films and all that shit that like eventually I think made people go like, yeah, Asian people.
That's
ghosts.
interesting because I told you I went to a haunted house last night. I was telling my friend in line that I was like, the thing that's going to scare me the most is a kid in here.
Yep.
And they didn't have no kids. So like, I toughed it out.
The kids are scary. I think for me personally, the clown room, I have a real hard time with. I don't do good. I don't do good with the clown room.
Clowns don't bother me. You know what it is? And I trapped it because we were talking in line, my friend, because I was like, I thought I don't like spooky shit. So I thought I was going to be scared anyways. I just went because like, whatever. And just, you got to shake it up sometimes or whatever.
Yeah.
But, and then one of my friends, she was like, well, what are you scared of? And I was like, okay, I had to think about it. And it's the God and the devil stuff. Because that's the only stuff I feel like I have no chance against.
Oh, meaning that there literally could be a hell and you are destined to go there type shit?
I think that you're putting words in my mouth because of what you reflect as my actions. I don't love that.
No. I'm not cursing you to hell. I'm asking, is that the fear living in your head?
I think even less of like that. I think more so of like, if that is the plane that we're operating on, I don't have the tools to defend myself.
To definitively be able to like ward off the devil and keep yourself safe in God's
exactly light. Like I think I could like if it's anything that's dudes or monsters, I feel like I could bust a couple. You know what I mean? I could hit them or something. Yeah. But it's like a little girl being possessed in the middle of the room. I don't have anything. I mean, I could punch her, but I don't even. Like,
I don't think that's going to help her.
Also, I feel like this is making it sound like I am not at all a person who punches to solve my problems. I'm just saying back in the corner, like I feel like.
I think I also identify as a person who does not want to hit to solve my problems, but backed into a corner, I think we all are people who punch to solve our problems. Like we're talking. Like, and if Sharkeisha's out there, we would love to have you on the show, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a condescending way. Please don't hit me to solve that problem.
Like, what's up, baby back? We want you on the show.
Come on, my little baby back rib. I think you've got to be, if you're not in prison, you've got to be 25 by now. And if you are in prison, they probably put you down because you've caused too many fights. But
put you down?
The state has probably ended your existence at this point. But if you are out there, Sharkeisha, we would love to have you on the podcast. We have so many questions and glowing statements to say to you.
But ultimately, so yeah, I say all that to I told that wildly embarrassing story to say even why one ghost experience was a white person.
Yeah, the only people that I've ever known to have ghost experiences have always described a white ghost. And even if they haven't explicitly said it, I think I've always perceived it that way. And some of that might be on me, where I'm like projecting white ghost out to them. But nobody's ever like been. I feel like if you saw a ghost, if literally any of my white friends saw a ghost, at some point they're going to mention if he was black. They're not like keeping that in the pocket of being like, oh, he's just a regular guy. They're gonna bring it up.
Oh, he had curly hair. Like they do that thing.
Tight coils, I would describe them as.
About your build.
Thick, juicy lips. Big old, just soup coolers.
He was a very musical guy. he could dance. I take that.
He had a rhythm to his step. Even when he was running after me, he's saying boo. It was a different kind of boo. Like I say boo, but he said boo.
He actually said boogie woogie.
And I was like, is that a gorilla? No, that's a man. That's a man chasing after me.
But wait, here's the big question. Have you ever seen a ghost?
I don't believe I've ever seen a ghost. I'd be lying if I feel like I've ever had any sort of haunting experience, but I am very, very fearful of ghosts and specifically the dark. I think I've told you this before.
Yeah, I had a fear of the dark for a long time too.
Yeah, and I think it's less the dark itself, but my greatest fear on this planet Earth is walking into a room, turning on a light, and someone's just sitting there.
Right.
Like that is the image that sort of like I most centrally associate with fear, and my biggest fear is just turning on a light and a human being is just there staring back at me.
Has that ever happened to you?
Probably, and that's probably where it's rooted from, but I don't have a real memory of it.
Yeah, you wiped it out. That's a trauma response.
Yeah, I think if it is a memory, it is clean out of my head, out of whatever the fuck happened in that room, you know?
I've definitely turned a light on and seen somebody in a room that I didn't think was going to be in a room before.
Yeah.
And that is, you're right. That's terrible. But aren't you also afraid somebody coming in when you poop?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I fuck around when it comes to fears, you know? I'm not a monogamous when it comes to my fears. I don't cheat on my wife. I cheats on my fears. I'm dogging them bitches out.
I think the bigger the booty, the finer it is. And now we can convince her she won't switching that big old booty and all that. It ain't nothing but doo-doo in there.
Come on. Ain't nothing but doo-doo in them big old butt cheeks feared.
I also have another question. Are you afraid of ghosts?
Yes, very much so. Okay. I think I'm afraid of anything. I think your articulation of the devil versus God is sort of living in the same vein of like anything that is out of my even potential effort to control.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I can't even try to beat a ghost. That feels like a cheat code, and that terrifies me.
Same. I agree. That's exactly that.
Me versus a ghost feels like when you play somebody who knew the code to like NBA Jam, where it's like he's on fire all the time.
Yeah, it's like
all right, well, I can't win.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
What are you doing? I picked the rookie Jason Kidd Grant Hill team, and that's a pretty solid team, and you're gonna eat me alive.
I mean, here's the thing. I also, as I got older, ghosts in the traditional sense don't scare me because I also get the feeling of like, if I can't do anything to them, what can they do to me? Like, it feels like they could just pop out.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the extent of it, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think if you buy into to television and movies, they can do a lot of shit to you. Like, you know, they can pass through walls, but they can also choke you. They can murder you. They can push you, make you hurt yourself. Like, they have a lot of potential if you buy into that. But if you're truly like, no, you are just a lingering spirit, then no, I don't think they can do anything but scare you.
Okay. Yeah, which is another thing that it's like, then what's the point?
Yeah, and that's the problem. I think you made this point earlier, is that if you are to believe in ghosts, you need to have a honest standardization of your beliefs and what these ghosts actually are, rather than it just being looming spirits from whatever religion, belief, background that, that doesn't associate with any of the spirituality that could help you fix it.
And also here's the thing about ghosts, because there's another weird, spooky thing I have. Do you believe in the idea of familial ghosts? Like, not so much a ghost is like in the vein of trying to scare you, but past family members surrounding you.
Yeah, I believe in energy. And when
you believe in the one thing that's a fact? Great. Like, I thought we were...
No, hear me out. I believe that our energies are left with us, or beyond us in rooms, in spaces, there is a transference of energy in every room and interaction that I have. And I do believe that energy can linger and take on some sort of like nearly humanoid form. I don't necessarily know that I believe in the familial ghosts in the sense of like them coming and saying the thing that needed to be taught to you in your ear. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in that traditional, like, quote unquote, haunting. But I do believe that like an energy can live in you so rich and so around you, so sort of fucking vibrant, that you do start to almost see that person.
I mean, that's why you got to leave the room after you nut. It's taken on humanoid form.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, my papa's in the corner, and his arms are folded.
But here's the reason I asked you this, because this is another weird, spooky thing. I guess I have more spooky shit than I ever thought.
Yeah, you're a real spooky motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, this is a cold part about it. So this is this other thing where me and a friend, the backstory doesn't matter. I was talking to a psychic.
Oh, no. Okay, go ahead. It felt like you wanted to tell the backstory and you were like, nah, that's too shameful. I'll keep that.
No, it's not even. I told you the story about fucking being scared of the guy. I've already gone deep in shame on this episode. Yeah. He said, that shit was embarrassing.
And yet I'll open up to you, not at all.
Yeah.
I won't trade a single story with you, David. I'm going to remain close to the hip with all of my shit.
That's why you're actually a funny guy. You're a truly funny guy. So I was talking to a sidekick. No, I mean, that's very funny. I was talking to a sidekick, or whatever you want to call him, and he was like real, though. It was like people like, it was months long waits to talk to this guy. And I got in because it was this weird show business thing where we were talking to him for his show. And I was
so
talking to this.
You're consenting, which tells me you're not terribly afraid of tinkering in the devil's magic of it all.
I'm consenting, but I definitely, I mean, now that I think about it, if I'm going to be honest, there must have been some part of me that was willing to consent without fear, because the front of my mind was definitely... skepticism was how I was approaching it. You know what I mean? And my partner in the thing, she was like, I used to be aware. She was all into it and wanted to know about it. And I was coming to the point of like it being skeptical. Yeah. And he was like a guy who claims to talk to people from the other side. So when we talked to him, he said whatever to my partner. And then he got to me and he was like, you don't believe in this, right? And I was like, yeah, not particularly. And he was like, I don't think so. I think it's actually quite the opposite. So much so that you convince yourself that you don't believe in it. I was like, ugh. And then he was like, do you know a lot of people who have died? And I was like, yeah, kind of, my fair share, a pretty good amount. And he was like, yeah, I can tell there's a bunch of them with you right now. There's a bunch of them he said there's a bunch of them in the room. He's like, there's a bunch of people in the room with you right now. And if it's people that I know that have died, it's mostly just family and shit like that. which is all black people.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Press a button. Save us. Press a fucking button.
I actually am 1.4% Nigerian African. I'm a sister.
All
okay?
right. That
didn't help. I don't think it did. I don't think it did. You still feel it? You still feel the
I was
chills
trying
up
to
your
talk
back?
it through, but no.
No. That was a visceral response.
God damn it. That's okay. Here's where my skeptical brain kicked in during the ending of that story, which was fucking bone chilling. And oof. The one little question that did pop in my head that I'd love to hear your thoughts on is, why are they with you? Like, these are people that have other people, other things going on. You know what I mean? Like, in theory, why are they all attached to you and not other cousins, other loved ones, other whoever the fuck that also are in the middle of their own trials?
Because I'm special.
Got you. Yep.
That was the problem?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's now you're going to write it off.
Buddy.
I think it can't just be special. I don't have a light shining.
What does Drewski say? We got him.
You're going to quote Drewski at me? I'm your partner in this endeavor.
I'd feel like a hack if I just took it. So,
no,
we
right.
got him.
No, that was the joke answer. I think that is a very good question, to be fair. I do think that but it also might be, we don't know, to speak to what I was saying before, if the case is that one of the only ways that they have contact is directly through a medium like this, then it would stand to reason that at the point that they knew that I was contacting a person who could contact them, that would be when they would all gather, as opposed to just like, you know what I'm saying? That does make sense to me.
If they are able to watch over you and sort of like have this omniscient knowledge of your comings and goings, it makes sense for them to be present for this moment, as opposed to any other moment where they're just hanging out with you without any incentive.
Like, this is an actual time we could get through.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? When you ever call somebody and they're with a bunch of friends and everybody's giving a shout out. It's like, I feel like it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, who are you talking to? Oh, you're talking to David? Oh, tell Mike's in here. Mike's over. You know?
It's not like you got to say anything to David. You just want David to know.
What up, boy? What up, boy?
Yeah. He is loved. He is thought about. I am present for you.
Right.
Yeah. Damn. Well, that at least then makes it feel a little more hopeful that it isn't them lingering for any other purpose but to remind you that you are cared for and loved and have people, rooting for you.
And so, and then to bring it all full circle to this idea of like, whether or not if there are ghosts, I think if black ghosts are around, I would like to believe that it is more in that vein of help and family and wanting to show love than it is just like hanging around to finish some unfinished business or some shit.
Yeah, I'd hate to think that there's some young black teenager hanging around a finish line that...
Damn, that... You said I was dark. Jesus Christ. You're just laughing? That was
he didn't get to get the sneakers that he wanted. And he's like, I just gotta hang out here forever and always.
That was really terrible.
Olivia said, press another button.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Well,
sad now, LOL.
Well, I think we did it. I don't think we need to take this any further.
I think you're right. I think that we accomplished what it is we needed to accomplish.
Just to recap, it seems like we're in agreement that if black ghosts do exist, then they are likely more manifested for positive familial relationships than they are running around saying oogie boogie in corners and shit.
Mm-hmm. The white
Hell yeah.
ghosts, trash.
White ghosts, y'all do what y'all want. And that's true of you in the living.
Yeah.
That honestly, that really is how you've treated your entire lives. And it's a shame that even in the afterlife, you somehow have managed to continue to be that. But it seems that way.
Habitual line steppers.
Habitual line steppers through eternity.
Forever and ever.
You want to tell the people where they can find you and what cool shit you have going on?
I am going to be headlining the Denver Comedy Works November 12th. I'm going to be featuring for Shane Torres at Comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin, Thanksgiving weekend. And just announced I'm going to be in Cleveland, Ohio at Hilarities Comedy Club, January 12th and 13th.
Fuck yeah. And if you want to see me, you can follow me at Langston Kerman. I'm back on Twitter, y'all. I quit and I thought I was cool without it, but I felt like I was missing a big part of the conversation. So I'm back and I'm not proud of that, but Papa's sick and
Does it feel good being back, though?
a little bit, man. I just be knowing all the funny jokes when they're happening and not like a 3 days later, the way that every other app is set up to be.
And I feel you, because when I sent you that Bishop thing, I was so excited. Like, when I saw it, I was so excited to talk to you about it. And then you were like, yeah, that shit's old.
Yeah, it was a year old. I'm like,
that hurt. That hurt.
I didn't like saying it that way, if that makes you feel better.
You had to. You did what you had to do.
Yeah, I didn't feel any pride in being like, this stupid motherfucker, you don't know.
No.
It's like, no, it was like, oh, he ain't on Twitter, and that's good for him still, but I'm back, baby.
It doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel bad.
But you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Langston Kerman. Don't follow that sad nigga. And if you want to see me live, I will be in Burlington, Vermont, November 10th and 11th. And then the following week, I'll be in Dallas at Hyenas Comedy Club, November 17th and 18th. And oh, shit. I don't know. I forgot. And as always, if you follow the pod, like, subscribe. We have an Instagram. We have a YouTube. We would like all of your it would be our pleasure to entertain you on all of those platforms. And if you want to send us, we got a TikTok. We've got all the shit that you may be interested in. And apparently the YouTube has reached a certain number that is inconvenient for David and I. And we have not
I swear to God, it was 1.98, and then I looked at it, and it was 2.11 all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm worried that we are becoming too successful too fast.
Also, who's checking these numbers? We're just trusting big YouTube?
Yeah, we're trusting Steven YouTube to be honest with us. That don't seem right.
Feels like a problem. We'll figure it out, though.
Stop giving us these Mr. Beast numbers and get us back to anonymity. That said, we do owe you all a video, and we will discuss when that video will happen. And most importantly, if you want to send us your own drops, your own conspiracy theories, if you want to tell us about the nigga ghosts that you have experienced in your life, send it all to mymommapod@gmail.com. That's the whole shebang. Bye, bitch.